Hi, this is BSVP On-Site, the business section, and inside your local chamber. And this week we are talking with the executive director of the Lake Bluff Chamber of Commerce, and that is Joanna Rolick. And I'm bringing in Joanna. So say hi, Joanna.
Hi, good morning, Bruce.
Welcome. So I'm actually all the chambers around. I've actually been involved with the Lake Bluff Chamber the most and the longest. So this is going to be more of an intimate conversation, but it's been shared publicly, so we won't get too intimate.
There you go. Okay, sounds good to me.
So let's start off with kind of describe the community of Lake Forest and Lake Bluff.
Mm-hmm. So Lake Forest and Lake Bluff are, roughly 30 miles north of Chicago. On the North Shore. Lake Bluff likes to call itself the North Pole of the North Shore. And they're two communities that started as bedroom communities. A lot of people moved up out of the city over the course of the past century and a half. And they're two wonderful communities. Lake Forest's population right now, I should have looked, I think is around 17,000, and I'll have to check on this. I'll tell you what, before we get off. And Lake Bluffs is 5,000, and then we also serve surrounding communities as well. But these are our towns.
So great. And so they're kind of small communities. They're not really bedroom communities, are there? There's a vibrant business within the community. Although what I've noticed is that a lot of times people within the community want to pretty much market only to the Lake Forest, Lake Bluff area. And if it's beyond the realm, some of the businesses don't want that outside attention. But as part of the chamber, I think you're trying to entice them to say, yeah, there is more to your customer base than just the Lake Forest, Lake Bluff area.
You know what? That's the way it was a long time ago. I would tell you that it's not that way anymore. I mean, our communities, we have two business districts in each. We have the traditional business districts that run along the train lines, the Northwestern train line, Union Pacific now. But at any rate, so we have that. We have the traditional business districts that include Market Square in Lake Forest, and then the downtown in Lake Bluff. That's really a 2-block area that is really dense with businesses downtown Lake Bluff, and it is great fun and has the village green with the gazebo. So those are your traditional business districts. And then on the west side of both towns are the second business districts. And I would tell you that in the case of Lake Forest, north of Market Square and south of Market Square are additional areas. It's contiguous. Going south, it breaks up with a little residential and then picks up again to the north on Western Avenue in Lake Forest. But on the west sides of both towns are additional business districts that are vibrant. And in the case of Lake Bluff, they even have a Target over there. So whereas these are small town businesses, we also have some larger businesses as well. So you have manufacturing on the west side of Lake Forest, over by the tollway. And in the case of Lake Bluff, you have Target, you have some national retailers or national chains that are out there, food and some other types of businesses, and also car dealerships in the case of Lake Bluff. So that both communities have quite a mix.
Excellent. So what is the chamber doing to kind of teach or train, or not really train, but help the members market or network the activities that you've been doing?
Yeah. So Bruce, that's such a good question, because right now we're in the middle of the COVID crisis, the coronavirus crisis that has changed our world dramatically. And at this point, we really have a new normal as to what we all should do. I mean, both personally in the way that we are living our lives and protecting our health and that sort of thing. But in the case of the businesses, it's a matter of protecting and supporting their health as well. And right now, what has changed dramatically is the means of delivery of products and services. That's number one. And then the second thing is how we're communicating with each other. We have to do it virtually. So in the case of the chamber, what we're doing is we cannot do the face-to-face meetings that we've had. And we've only been in this for 3 weeks. We can't do the face-to-face meetings. We can't do face-to-face consultations. We can't walk into our businesses' doors. And, so what we're doing is we're all looking at ways to pivot to be able to assess what we can do, how we can be effective doing it, and then strategize and execute as to how we can keep these businesses, keep the businesses going. So, I would say in terms of what the chamber is doing, I can tell you that what we've historically done is provided publications. And we're very lucky that our community guide was completed prior to the crisis beginning, so that our community guide is actually going to be in households this week. It's being mailed to every household in Lake Forest and Lake Bluff, and that's around 12,500 households between the two communities. So we have that in our shopping and dining guide. And then beyond that, we have networking events. Traditionally, we've had regular networking events. We've had 50 events a year, approximately 50 events of all different types, to give our businesses the opportunity to mingle with each other, to create referrals, to be able to establish collaborations and that sort of thing, and also to be able to be out in front of the public with special events, not unlike other chambers. We all have been doing a lot of the same things, and sidewalk sales and promotions of a variety of types. But we've had, over the past couple of years, it's been important for us all to look at things differently as the marketplace was changing, even coming up to this crisis now. The marketplace was changing dramatically, and there was much more virtual competition, but virtual opportunity. And so we've been looking at creating different sorts of experiences in the events that we've been doing, to bring the public to the businesses and be able to showcase the businesses. But I would say that it's probably what you've been hearing from other chambers as well. And at this point, what we're doing is being very, we're taking a deep dive right now into our membership and what the different members that we have might need going forward as we address the challenges that we have right now.
So how are you communicating with them? Are you holding any events, virtual events, or are you just sending out emails?
So both. When the crisis first launched, or first started, not launched, but when the crisis first began a few weeks ago, we started communicating immediately. And there were communications to our mailing list. We have at this point 385 entities that are members of our chamber. And I say entities because that's businesses, but it's also entrepreneurs, it's also manufacturers, it's also nonprofits, educational institutions. We have a little of everything there. So in fact, in our community guide, we have, I think it's 198 categories of different types of products, services, and roles that these entities play in our communities. But when this started, we began with communications on a regular basis to be able to set the stage for what resources and what resources were available for the businesses in terms of moving forward, because we were all shell-shocked by it, to be honest. And I think that included, not I think, but I know it included information about the federal, state, and local programs that are there to be able to assist businesses, then how the processes work, keeping them up to date as all of those were evolving in real time. And we had a lot of communications that were going out to our constituency. So that happened. And then what we decided to do right out of the gate was to create a means where people could buy gift certificates for those businesses that had products or services that one could invest in, so that you can buy a gift certificate or gift card now that you can use later. And in some cases, the businesses are open for business virtually, and you can apply that purchase to them. But there is a platform that we have that we kind of recreated it, if you will, so that what we could do is sell these gift certificates online and pass the proceeds to the businesses. And this has been something that has taken off. At this point, it hasn't been around for long, and we're doing some promotion. We've sold over $2,000 worth of gift certificates, and we really are urging the public to jump on board and support their favorite businesses that way, by both buying these gift certificates for their own use, but also maybe for gifts. It's not too soon to start thinking about holiday gifts, and to buy those gift cards, or to say thank you to those that are serving them, whether it be first responders, whether it be medical professionals, community employees who are still out there on the front lines, keeping us safe and keeping us in good shape. I know that there are some collaborations, and I'll digress a little bit here, but there are some collaborations between some of our businesses, one in particular, Donati's Pizza, Jeff Urso, and Chief's Pub in Lake Forest, one in each community. And the two gentlemen have partnered with entities so that they are raising dollars and providing support and providing meals and that sort of thing. So the general public has ways to be able to plug into those initiatives to support those that they would like to support, and also at the same time be able to support the businesses. So we're doing that. And going back to your question, Bruce, and then as far as networking, we're relaunching our networking next week, and that is going to be virtual. We have one of our members, Phil Gator, who has a business called Brandstorm, and Phil's terrific, came up with a new brand for that. He leads it too. It's going to be called Homework. So homework will be homeworking and meeting together, which will be good fun for those who are looking for networking. And then we have another wonderful member. Lake Bluff's Susie's Swirl is a business that sells frozen goodness, so you can go in there and get that at any time. Well, not right now, but you can get it through Donati's Pizza right now. But at any rate, one of the two owners, Kathy Wood, is a professional business consultant, and Kathy is partnering with us and putting together a webinar series that we're going to be launching next week. So it'll start on April 21st. And the first series of 3 series that we're going to do is going to be, it's being called a business workout. And it's going to look at 4 different ways that you can build, flex, and strengthen your business muscles. And the very first presentation that will be next Tuesday will be on business mindset and how we can all pivot to be able, well, I won't use the word pivot because we're using that for the second one, but how we can all rethink how we're looking at our business and how we're acting on the challenges right now. And we're very, very fortunate that our first speaker will be Steve Drum, who is a Lake Bluff resident. Steve has just retired from 27 years as a Navy SEAL, and Steve is now refocusing what he has learned and what he has helped create for the Navy, which was what's called a warrior toughness program, and it's all about mind, body, and spiritual wellness. And he's parlaying that into an approach for business now. So we're thrilled that Steve's going to be with us next week for our very first presentation. So I would urge everyone to jump on board for that. And you have to register for it through the chamber so that you can get the password and the access to be able to join us for it. There is no charge for this series. This is a service that the chamber and the individuals that are involved in it are going to be providing as a service to the community at large. So we'll have that, and then some other things that are coming down the pike.
So I just put up the website address, and so also speaking of the website and registering for the website, every chamber pretty much revolves around their website as opposed to walking in, because I know there aren't many people who just walk in the front door and just start asking questions. The first contact is usually through a website to find out more information about a chamber. So let's pull up your chamber. And this is your front page.
Yeah. And I'm going to point that out because that banner is a link to a video that one of our staffers did, Sarah Lockhart of our staff, and she put together that video that is it's a virtual tour. It's actually a photographic tour with music through our businesses that we're, until we can walk through their doors again, this is a way for us to be able to visit them, and it's really wonderful. So that's terrific. And the staffer who is in charge of our website is Amy Taylor, who is fantastic in terms of marketing and promotion. So she is our marketing and communications director. So the website, to your point about that, or to your question about that, Bruce, our website has at the top, everybody can see that it's got tabs up at the top that will take you to the area that you would like to see some information right on the front there. Yeah, so that is things to do, and you'll see right at the top there, we've got resources for residents, and those are COVID crisis resources. And that will take you also down one more to Eat Shop Play. If you could go to that, perfect. So if you go to that page, that is a page where we start up at the top with a button that will take you to our gift certificate purchase page. We can go there for a minute because that's kind of fun. But if you scroll down, this is what we call our Eat Shop Play page. And if you scroll down, Bruce, what we have here is updated daily, and there is information going down the page in all of the categories of businesses and entities that are still open for business, if you will, and continuing to serve. We have about 80 entries here. It includes approximately, I think it's around 35 or 36 businesses that are food businesses. You'll see those divided by location. And then after you get past that, there are links to their sites so that you can order for pickup delivery. And then going further, you'll see shopping. There's some online shopping, and play is the businesses down towards the bottom that have different activities that you can do online. There's our shop. And then further down is play, that are activities that you can do online. You can take a yoga class. You can take a class at Gorton. They have some FaceTime classes that are for children. The libraries, both Lake Forest and Lake Bluff, have some wonderful programming going on. So this is a way that citizens can quickly on this page, scroll down and be able to see what's going on and link over to them just for it's just an easy way to do it. So that's our
locations are actually having virtual events themselves, aren't they?
I'm sorry?
Some of these locations are actually having virtual events themselves.
That's right. Absolutely. So, what we're looking at is just ways that we can get information out to the public. We also have links on the other resource page, the resident resource page. We have links to a variety of things that are being offered by other entities in town and also the municipalities. Everyone is rallying at this point in putting out information. And if you scroll down just a little bit, Bruce, you'll see, there you go. So you'll see resources for residents, the Eat Shop Play we were just on. Resources for businesses is where you would go if you're a business or a nonprofit. Go to that site because we have all the latest on the funding sources and the processes, and also webinars. Thank you. You'll see the Paycheck Protection Program. There is information there. There's an overview at the top where you can click on one of those links and it'll take you to work guides that are put out by the Small Business Development Center at College Lick County, or through our Congressman's office and some other opportunities. Economic injury disaster loan, it talks about it and how you go ahead and get apply for that. Emergency paid leave, unemployment support, and other funding opportunities for nonprofits, right now they too can go after some funding. So those sources are there with links so that you can jump on board. And
you don't have to actually be a member of the chamber to even take advantage of these links. You can just go to the website and click on them if you're a business. And a business pretty much located anywhere. And these links are probably more relevant to Illinois residents. But for a national location, there are any national links as well.
You're right. You're right. Anyone can go there and take a look at these, and we, we welcome people to do it. So, we keep that up to date. Those are updated on a daily basis, just to make sure that we're up with the latest information. So that's there too. And then other aspects of the website, there we go. So small business resources down at the bottom. Other aspects of the website that are for the everybody to take advantage of and enjoy. From that home page, you can also go to information about the chamber. We love to, when we welcome businesses from all over the area, the metro area, to participate with our chamber. Those are some quick links. You'll see buying the gift certificates to the left, the Eat Shop Play page, and then business resources. Moving down a little bit, we have social media links. We have a very active social media presence. And we also have some chat groups to be able to communicate. We have a biz-to-biz, a business-to-business page that's called Chamber Member Chat. And then we have another one that we are relaunching this week that's called Business Buzz. And that's an opportunity for our businesses to be able to talk to consumers and share what they're up to. Down a little further, these are just some social media shots. We have that hashtag LoveLFLB, and people have been posting some great shots. And, so that represents some of the things that have been going on in town. Those last couple of shots up at the top are, actually that whole row have been over the past few weeks. And those are a couple of our business folks up at the top. That's, anyway, who have been doing some wonderful work in supporting the community and being able to continue to do business and to provide food.
And then that takes us to some of the other things, past chamber events. So some of these past chamber, so you have the business and government breakfast where you introduce local mayor and village president. You also have a chamber lunch on a semi-regular basis each month, and you have specialized speakers there. I know you record those and you put those on the YouTube channel for everybody to view, so those who can't attend. But you also have, during the lunches, you pretty much have information that's pretty much available or relevant to any business.
We do, Bruce, we do. And, in terms of those luncheons, of course, at this point, we can't congregate. So to have luncheons in the way that we used to have them, we just can't do that right now. So we're looking at different ways that we can bring some of those assets and some of those individuals to our members. And, that's one of the reasons for the webinars. I mean, the webinars are educational, but also an opportunity to connect. And then the networking opportunities are going to be enhanced. So Zooming is what we're going to be doing. And so there will be more coming out on that. We wanted to be a little bit deliberate in this, just to kind of feel out our members and to find out from them, to do some polling of our members, which we've done, to see what kinds of things they're looking for and how they would like us to be helpful, what we should put together. So we're excited about launching all of this, and that will be forthcoming. But you're right about the website, and I would urge people to follow us on social media, Lake Forest Lake Bluff Chamber, and you'll find the links on our webpage. So I know you have that on the screen right now, and that would be the best place to start. So if people would like to follow us, come and visit us at the website first, and then go and find us on social media so that we can actually have some real-time conversation.
So have you had any Zoom meetings so far? And do you have any tips for I know you participate in a number of Zoom meetings. Do you have any suggestions on how to Zoom?
So we have had some Zoom meetings. We have not as yet had a Zoom event, but I've been doing my homework and I have been taking a look to see what the best practices are. So Zoom, I'll tell you what, the Zoom website has some wonderful tutorials. I mean, there's so much out there right now that I think anybody who is looking at doing something like that for their business or even personally, you'll find a lot of information out there. So we're looking forward to it. And I think it's interesting because both of our municipalities have now had meetings. I don't think they used Zoom. I don't recall. I was at both of them, but it's wonderful because you do get to see everybody to gallery view. You see all these faces. It's kind of like the Brady Bunch, where you see everybody, everybody's faces there, but it's really good fun. So we're looking forward to Zoom, and I would urge anybody who is looking at doing something to use that. WebEx is another one that I've used, and I know that there are some others.
Yeah, I think GoToMeeting is one,
Right.
And Skype is still a viable platform too.
Sure.
So for more information, what's the best way to contact? Do you just contact you through the website? Is email a viable contact?
Yep.
Platform?
I would say the best way to get in touch with us, because your email can be directed to the most appropriate staffer, is info at lflbchamber.com. So I would say that would be the best way to reach us right now. We do get notification of phone calls, but the phone service has not been directed remotely. So I would say email is the best way to get in touch with us because, I'm pretty much on it all the time. And so we can respond to you and we're happy to do so.
Excellent. So do you have any advice or tips for your local business on how to network in this time of distancing?
You know what? I think, first of all, to stay strong, to think very creatively. I am just so amazed at how resourceful some individuals and businesses have been. And also the generosity of our community of both businesses and residents. It has been, and I would say this, that even though we are isolated from each other, I have seen silos come down. And I think that in itself is something that is a wonderful thing to see, and that serves us all very, very well. Because if we can continue to work on these things together as a chamber and a community, but also as businesses and as colleagues, then I think we can see our way through this as best as we can. Is this easy? No. And is this going to be difficult and critically challenging for some of our friends and colleagues? Yes. But at the same time, I think that what we need to do is everything that we can to be supportive. The chamber is here for you. We can't do enough. And please know that we will listen to your suggestions. There have been some wonderful things that have come out from residents and from businesses. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you, and we want to see if it's something that would be worthwhile that we can move forward on. But we have the energy, we have the motivation, and we certainly have a reason to be able to keep it going.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for spending the time in the morning with me. And if you're just tuning in, subscribe and follow us for future episodes. And if you have any questions of the chamber or in general about business, feel free to email either Joanna or myself.
Thank you so much, Bruce, for this opportunity.
Great. Thank you much. Bye.
Bye-bye.